Now that I've showed you how to increase and decrease stitches, I'm going to show you how to make shapes. We're going to start out with a circle. This is a flat circle. It should lay perfectly flat when you're finished. You can use it for coasters, bases for a purse, ends for bolster pillows, top of a hat, all kinds of uses for this flat circle. The method I'm going to show you, you're going to join each round. When you join each round, you will have a visible seam, but it's easier to keep track of the beginning and end of your round when you do this. Okay, so let's get started. I'm just using a scrap of medium worsted weight yarn, and I'm using a size I or 9 or 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. Okay, you can start out with a magic circle. There are several videos on how to do a magic circle. Bring the tail of your yarn across the front of your yarn, put your hook in the loop from behind, yarn over, and draw up a loop, keeping that tail on top. And basically all that is a loose slip knot. Let me show you that again. You get a little closer. Take your tail of your yarn, cross it over the front of your yarn, like so. It'll look like a capital P with the stem coming in front. Put your hook in the loop from behind. Grab your working yarn and hold your tail where those two cross. Yarn over, draw the loop through and pull it up. And keep it loose. Basically this is a loose slip knot. If you pull that down, that would be a slip knot, see? But I'm keeping it loose. Okay, and now I'm going to chain 1, because we're going to make single crochets. Okay, now working over the tail and around that loop, I'm going to make 6 single crochets. In the crochet instructions, the word loop will be abbreviated LP. Okay, and then insert your hook in that loop and draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2. That's 1 single crochet. Make 6 single crochet in this loop and work over that tail. The magic happens working over the tail. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, pull the tail behind the work here. Now go to that first single crochet you have, insert your hook under the 2 top loops and draw up a loop. Draw the first loop through the second loop. That's a slip stitch. For these slip stitches, I want you to pull it up tight, like this. This will help you remember not to work in the slip stitch when you come around. Okay, now we got this big hole in the middle. This is the magic. You hold on to this last stitch you made pretty tight, grab that tail, and tug on it. And that drew the hole closed. That's your magic circle. When you're finished with your work, you can weave the tail in. Okay, so now we have our first round done. To make your circle lay flat, you want to increase by the number of stitches you put in your circle. In this case, we did 6 single crochet. We need to increase by 6. So to increase by 6, that's twice as many. So you put 2 stitches in each stitch around, or increase in each stitch around. So chain 1, place 2 single crochets in that first stitch, 2 in the next stitch, and you always go under both loops of the V unless your pattern tells you otherwise. If the pattern wants you to work in the back loop. It'll be abbreviated BLO, as I told you in the scarf tutorial. So I'm going ahead and putting 2 single crochet in each single crochet around. Now you notice as I'm working, the hole's working open again. So when you're finished your circle, that's when you really want to pull this shut again and draw in that tail, and it'll secure it. Okay, so when we're done this round, there will be 12 single crochet in your round. Okay, now we're going to slip stitch back into the first single crochet. Where is that, you ask? Okay, if you look closely, there is a tight stitch right here. That's the slip stitch. This, turn it this way, is the chain 1, and this is your first single crochet. See the little, I'm going to cover it with my thumb. See the little triangle or the pie, like in the mathematical notation? That's your single crochet. So you want to go under 2 loops of that single crochet, draw up a loop, draw the first loop through the second. That's your slip stitch. Pull it to tighten it, and you should have 12. You're going to count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we started with 6 stitches. Excuse me. We need to increase by 6 more. We need to have 18 stitches. Well, to increase, again, the same amount of stitches. Chain 1. We'll put 2 single crochet in that first stitch, which is your first increase. 1 single crochet in the next stitch. And repeat that around. So it's 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, all the way around. And that will increase by 6 stitches. So 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. I'm going to go fast here. You get the idea that you put increase 1 and then work even 1. Okay, because we started with an increase, our last stitch will not be an increase. So that way you know if it worked right. Okay, and now we're going to slip stitch into that first single crochet we made. Now, the row below, I increased in the first stitch. So this row I'm going to increase not in the first stitch. And in this row, we want to also make our circle, have 6 more stitches in this row than in the previous row. So we had 1 stitch between the increases on the previous row, so we're going to have 2 stitches between the increases. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out single crochet 1 stitch in each of the first 2 and then increase. This will keep your circle round and not look like a hexagon. If you alternate having your first stitch being the increase every other row. Okay, that was an increase and 2 even, then increase. 2 single crochet, 1 in each of the next 2. Increase, make 2, increase, then make 2, then increase, then make 2, and we're going to increase in the last stitch, and slip stitch into the top of the first single crochet, chain 1. So the first row we had 6 stitches, second row we had 12 stitches, third row we had 18 stitches, this row should be 24 stitches. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 24. I got my 24 stitches, so I've increased properly. I'm going to do one more row to show you. Okay, this row here we increased in the last stitch, so this row we're going to increase in the first stitch. So 2, and this row down here we had 2 stitches between increases, so now we're going to do 3 stitches between increases, and this will continually allow you to increase the row by 6 stitches, and it will make the circle lie flat. Okay, I'm not going to do this whole round. You get the idea now. I think so. I am going to put the formula for this in the sidebar. It'll either be below the video or off to the side on to your right. So that's how you increase evenly to make a flat circle. And when your circle's finished, again, I want you to, just reminding you, you pull the string up tight, and then you take your yarn needle, go around that center circle another time, and then maybe weave the rest of the TL through your stitches on the back. And these can be used for a coaster, top of a hat, a bottom of a basket, end of a bolster, etc. So give it a try. Let me know how it's going. If you have any questions, please ask. I answer most questions that are posted. Happy crocheting!